ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show, Just My Thoughts. I'm your host, as always, Eric Daniel Coughlin. How you guys doing? I hope everyone is doing well. So, quick thing, and then we're going to jump into the episode. So, first thing on my thought tracker here is I'm going to brag on myself just a little bit, which I don't like to do, but I'm going to do it anyway. So, the last episode I gave you guys what my personal 53-man roster would be for the Chicago Bears. Just how good did I do? Um, I did pretty freaking good, if I don't mind saying myself. I gave you 53-man roster. 42 out of the 53 actually made the 53-man roster. So our professional roster is up. It's active, as is everybody's, because tomorrow starts the season, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. The main agenda of today is going to be breaking down week one of the NFL. I have picks for all across the board. I have, all 18 games going on, or wait a minute, I said that wrong. 16 games. I have all 16 games. So it means I've got 16 winners picked, and we're going to be breaking that down. But I just want to let you guys know, just so you understand that when I give you guys information, I'm almost always dead on point. There's not too many people that can come up and generate a 53-man roster as I did and get 42 out of the 53 correct as I did. So good job, Eric. You're welcome, Eric. And now, so that being said, so as we all know, NFL season starts tomorrow night, Thursday night football. We have the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Detroit Lions. And then as is always, we will have to wait till Sunday for the rest of the games. And then, follow up Monday Night Football, which will actually be the Bills versus the Jets. Tell me one thing. Tell me, how does Aaron Rodgers get to open this season on Monday Night Football? I'll tell you how, because he's Aaron freaking Rodgers. That's how. So, ladies and gentlemen, with no further ado, let's break down the matchups of week one of the NFL 2023 season. And let's pick 16 winners of the week one 2023 NFL season right after I light this cigarette. Are you guys ready? All right, here we go. So, cheat sheet. So, this is actually, I know you guys can't read it, but I don't care. So what this is every matchup, every game of week one. So as I said, we have the Chiefs versus the Lions. I went Chiefs. We have the Bengals versus the Browns. I'm going Bengals. We have the Ravens versus the Texans. I'm going Ravens. We have the Buccaneers versus the Vikings. Shockingly, I'm going for the Buccaneers. And it's not much of a shock. If you guys have been following me and if you guys have watched every episode, you guys already know that I think Baker Mayfield is going to do wonderful things for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Go Baker. All right, so moving forward, we have the Falcons versus the Panthers. Now, this was kind of tricky for me. First of all, I wanted full disclosure. I said that I felt like Atlanta was going to be the worst team in the NFL, but I also said that division is going to be the worst division in the NFL, and it's going to be a week one of a new season. That being said, Carolina offloaded all the talent that they had, and then they drafted new players. They're going to be starting a rookie quarterback. So I actually picked Atlanta to beat Carolina in the week one opener. But keep in mind, I really only think Atlanta's going to win 3 games. This just happens to be one of the 3 that I think they're going to win. I just don't see a rookie quarterback going in there and doing a good job for Carolina. I don't think Carolina's going to do a very good job, period. They might be amongst the worst, maybe 2 games. So they might be worse than Atlanta, which is why I picked Atlanta to win moving forward. We have, sorry, that was loud for me and that was loud for you, but I've got a fucking fly pissing me off. And I shouldn't have to worry about shit like that. But I do. So I have to apologize for blowing in the mic. And I have to apologize to myself because I about fucked up my speakers. So Eric, calm down. Now, moving forward. We got the Washington Commanders and we have the Arizona Cardinals. I'm taking the Commanders. Here's the reason why. I don't think that there's nothing good about Arizona. I think Arizona is desperate need for change. Change the coach, change the team, change your city, change everything about who you are and what you're doing. I think Arizona, again, ranks amongst the worst in the league. So I'm taking Washington Commanders. Moving forward, we have the Jacksonville Jaguars versus the Indianapolis Colts. I'm taking the Jacksonville Jaguars. Duh. Indianapolis Colts. They're in a rebuilding program. They're in, fresh start, year one, kicking everything off to try to do good. But let's be honest, they're starting a rookie quarterback. They're another team. And if I'm not mistaken, I should have done my homework a little bit better. But we're going to break it all down at the end of this episode, but I believe that there's actually 5 starting rookie quarterbacks this year. Indianapolis Colts happens to have one of them, Anthony Richards. So that being said, and the fact that they let go of Jonathan Taylor, are you kidding me? Jonathan Taylor is one of the best and most athletic running backs in the NFL, and the Indianapolis Colts absolutely have to have talent, and they still let this guy go. What a joke. I think the Colts are going to be the 3rd worst team in the NFL. I think it's going to be something like Carolina Panthers worst, Atlanta Falcons 2nd worst, Indianapolis Colts 3rd worst team in the NFL. So that being said, go Jags. Now this is a very interesting matchup, and my pick is going to blow your guys' minds, but this is my picks. We have the Pittsburgh Steelers versus the San Francisco 49ers. I'm going Steelers. And I'm also going to say this, which I've been saying this, I'm going to say it again. I'm going to repeat defender. That's what I do. I constantly tell you guys how I think and how I feel on my show. Guess what? I'm hosting an episode, which means we are on my show. And I'm picking the Steelers to win this game, and I'm also picking them to make the playoffs this year. Duh. So, moving forward, we have the Titans versus the Saints. Go Titans. I'm picking the Titans to beat the Saints. We have the Raiders versus the Broncos. Go Raiders. I'm picking Baby Brady. Duh. The Raiders are definitely doing good. Defensively, they've been sound for about the last 5 or 6 seasons. They've just been having problems at the quarterback position. Guess what? Now that they got Jimmy Garoppolo, they don't have a quarterback problem, which means that they're probably going to sneak around and win that division. I'm picking the Raiders to win that division, and I'm also picking the Raiders to win the game 1 versus the Broncos. I don't care that the Broncos have Russell Wilson because the Raiders have Jimmy Garoppolo. Go Raiders. Moving forward, we have the Super Bowl winning champs. No, they didn't win. Or did they win? The Eagles versus the Patriots. I'm picking the Eagles. Not that I don't like the Patriots. I'm not sleeping on the Patriots, but I'm just going to say there's no way that the Patriots are going in there week 1 and beating the Eagles. That's what I'm saying. How you doing? Moving forward, we have the Seahawks versus the Rams. And that being said, since I do not like Matthew Stafford, I'm going with the Seahawks. Go Geno Smith. Moving forward, we have the Chargers versus the Dolphins. Now let's talk about this. First of all, I'm picking the Chargers to beat the Dolphins hands down, but I'm also picking the Dolphins to only win 7 games this year and not make the playoffs. I've said this time and time again, and I'm going to continue to keep on saying this. The Miami Dolphins have to find a legitimate quarterback. And until they find a legitimate quarterback, they are wasting their talent. They have Tyreek Hill. They have Jalen Waddle. They have a slew full of running backs. They got like 3 dudes that can tote the rock over there. But they also got a quarterback that just cannot take and absorb an NFL linebacker hit, which means they cannot win many games under the helm. So that being said, Tua Tagovailoa, you've got to figure it out or call the CFL. Go play somewhere else because the Miami Dolphins have a very impressive roster minus you. Moving forward, so in case you didn't catch on to what I'm saying, I'm picking the Chargers to beat the Dolphins. Duh. We've got the most important game of week 1, and we've got the second most important game of the year for us being the Chicago Bears. We have the Bears versus the Packers. Guess who I'm picking? I'm picking the Bears. Duh. I don't even know what you're thinking. It's not even a question. I'm picking the Bears every week. Do I think we're going to go 16-0, 17-0? No. Is it going to stop me from picking my Bears to win? Hell no. Full disclosure, gentlemen, And ladies and children who may be watching my show, I'm always going to pick the Bears. I've got to be realistically real on my predictions. I predicted that we could have a 4,200-yard season, so that means we're going to win a shit ton of games, which definitely starts week 1 this Sunday versus Green Bay without Aaron Rodgers. Who do you think I'm picking? I already did. I already told you. The Bears. Now, we have the Giants versus the Cowboys. Shocker. I'm picking the Giants. I don't even think that the Cowboys are very good. I think the Cowboys are breaking apart. I think that defensively they've stayed sound for about the last decade. Maybe their defense is the only reason why they come close to winning games to begin with. But their defense has aged, and they've let go of their running back Ezekiel Elliott, and they brought in a backup quarterback Trey Lance to put pressure on Dak Prescott. If you're not smelling what I'm cooking, I'm telling you this: the time for the Dallas Cowboys to rebuild is right now. They're already trying to rebuild, and they're not even telling anybody about it. Unfortunately for me, I've been watching sports my entire life. I already know what the hell is going on. Dallas Cowboys are going down. Moving forward. Finally, Monday Night Football, we have the Jets versus the Bills. And now everyone thinks I'm going to pick Josh Allen and the Bills, but guess what? I'm not picking Josh Allen and the Bills because I've watched Aaron Rodgers for 16 years kick my face in, and because I've also seen Dalvin Cook for the last 4 years run all over my defense. The Jets have Aaron Rodgers. The Jets have Dalvin Cook. The Jets have my pick for Monday Night Football to beat the fucking Bills. How you doing? Hey, full disclosure, gentlemen, ladies, children who may be watching my show, I'm picking the Jets to win that division with a 12-5 record. Let me tell you guys something. Bringing in a guy like Dalvin Cook and bringing in a guy like Aaron Rodgers changes your franchise drastically. It don't help you a little bit. It helps you a fuck ton. A fuck ton. 12-5 Jets winning that division and definitely opening up the season with a week 1 win on Monday Night Football. You think they're going to pick Aaron Rodgers on Monday Night Football and him go out there and choke? Do your fucking history. He doesn't choke. And do your history. He has the highest QBR in quarterback history. Not championship wins, not Super Bowl appearances. Quarterback QBR. He has the highest in NFL history. He's not losing Monday night, and he's not going to lose in that division. And that's the reason why the Jets went after him, and that's the reason why he left Green Bay. He left Green Bay because he wanted a challenge. He's been kicking everyone's ass in the NFC for 16 years. Now he wants to see if he can do it in the AFC. Odds are he's going to do it. Do I love Aaron Rodgers? No. Do I respect Aaron Rodgers? Yes. Do I fear Aaron Rodgers? I'm not supposed to, but I do. Do you understand what I'm saying? Now, that being said, I told you guys I was going to break some stuff down toward the end of this episode, and we're already kind of getting toward the end of this episode. The reason is because I just gave you all my week 1 NFL picks, baby. That's what I did, and that's what I'm going to do next week, and that's what I'm going to do the week after that, and the week after that, and the week after that, until the season is over, and then we'll be doing it again during the playoffs, and then we're going to be doing it again during the championship rounds, and then we're going to do it for the Super Bowl. So hold your seat tight, because this is what we're going to be doing on the show for the next 4 months. How you doing? So those are my picks, ladies and gentlemen. My week 1 for 2023 NFL season kickoff week. I gave you all my picks. And now I have to relight my cigarette because I'm talking to you guys and not smoking my cigarette. My cigarette's like jealous. He's like, what the fuck, dude? Why'd you even put me in your mouth? I'm like, motherfucker, because I kind of smoke you. That's why I put you in my mouth. Who the hell do you think I am? All right, so big news, big news. This is the news that I've been waiting for literally for months. I've been waiting about, I don't know, maybe 60 days, maybe 2 months. Christian Woods has finally signed a 2-year deal to go play in the LA Laker uniform. So he's going to be coming off the bench to replace Anthony Davis. When Anthony Davis gets tired, here comes Christian Woods. This is a beautiful thing for a young man who's only 27 years old and hasn't had the time to prove himself, because every time he goes to a team, they're like, oh, yeah, you're pretty good, but we're looking for someone better. We're looking for someone better. We're looking for someone better. Now he's in a situation where he doesn't have to be the man. He just has to be himself. And going to play with a guy like Anthony Davis and LeBron James does stuff for your ego. If you don't believe me, just ask Rui Hachimura, who became a freak all of a sudden because he's teamed up with, you know, LeBron James and Anthony Davis. That's what these guys do. Jared Vanderbilt's another perfect example. That whole team last year is a perfect example of what kind of teammates that LeBron and Anthony Davis are. They are not just, slash thrash killers of the NBA. They are also really good, what I would say, character building players. And what I mean by character building players is these guys make their teammates great, not good. Great. Let me tell you something. If Rui Hachimura didn't go to LA Lakers and stayed over there in Washington, he would still be part of Washington's rebuilding program and probably be the best player on that team, but he would not be talked about because he's playing for the Washington Wizards. But now here he is in LA in the Lake Show, and he's not the best player, but people are talking about him. People are noticing him. People like him. I like him. I wanted him to come to Chicago. That's what I'm saying. That is the LeBron and AD effect. So great job for Christian Woods to finally get a solid home for a couple of years. So he goes out there, he proves himself. LeBron retires. He might get mega bucks, 5-year max contract, and be the next LeBron James. Now, I'm not saying he's going to be the next LeBron James, but I'm saying for the Lakers, he could be that next building block, because let's be honest, if the Lakers don't win a title this year, or even if the Lakers get lucky enough to win a title this year, LeBron's retirement age, bro, he's out the door. And then Anthony Davis is not going to stick around and be a Laker. He has no ties to the Lakers. He ended up over there as a free agent. He didn't get drafted by them. He got traded to them. Or not traded, excuse me, I said that wrong. I said it right the first time. He got picked up by them years ago. So when LeBron retires, AD's going to leave. He's probably going to want to go play for his hometown Chicago Bulls. Now, do I want that? Fuck no. I don't have time for Anthony Davis and his giant ass unibrow. I'm not an Anthony Davis guy. But do I respect him? Yes. Do I like him? No. Do I fear him? I'm not supposed to. Do you see what I'm saying? So I don't want him. I got the team that I want. And even when, look, say like, this year's a lot of big questions for the Chicago Bulls. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm going to break it down for you. So, DeMar DeRozan becomes a free agent this year. That's going to be a big problem. Also, Patrick Williams becomes a free agent this year. That's going to be a huge problem. What are you talking about? Why is that going to be a huge problem? I'm going to tell you why it's going to be a huge problem, because before your own eyes, you guys are all going to get to see the transformation of Patrick Williams. And Patrick Williams is going to become our third best player. What? Our third best player? What are you talking about? I'm talking about this. Zach LaVine being the number one guy. Then I'm going to talk about this. Nikola Vucevic being the number 2 guy. Then I'm going to talk about this. Patrick Williams being the number 3 guy. Now, why didn't I name DeMar DeRozan? I'll tell you why I didn't name DeMar DeRozan. Because he's coming into this season as a 34-year-old veteran who's been in the NBA for 15 years. He's not looking for the kill. He's looking for that help. He's going to play defense. He's going to take his open shots. He's going to attack when he's wide open. And he's going to feed the ball. He's not going to be what everyone thinks he's going to be. He's always been the best player on whatever team he's always been on. I'm not going to argue with that. But this is the first time in his career that he's presented with the idea to not be the show. It's not the DeMar DeRozan show. It's the Chicago Bulls game. And I'm still battling this fly, guys. I'm so fucking sorry. This is embarrassing for me and for you and for everyone that watches the show. Like, I can't believe I'm sitting here and listening to him talk and battle a fucking fly. Go get a fly swat, you jerk. Right? But at least I can say that shit. And I did. Right? So back to the DeMar DeRozan scenario. I don't think that he's going to even... I think he's going to be our 4th best player. And then Kobe White. And then, Ayo Dosunmu. And then everyone else is going to, chips, CHIPS. Chips will stack where they fall. I do think that, listen, I think we're going to be within the top three teams of the East. And depending on if injuries become a problem for other teams, I think that we could be the number one team in the East. And that's moving the ball through DeMar DeRozan, not being the DeMar DeRozan show. It could be said and it can be argued for the last couple of years. Either we missed playoffs or we got whipped in the playoffs because DeMar's trying to do too much stuff. So if we let Zach be Zach, and we allow Vooch to be Vooch, and then we accept Patrick being Patrick, I think that we low key have an opportunity to be almost unstoppable, legitimately unstoppable. So that's going to pretty much wrap it up. That's all the news that I have. I haven't seen any other players get signed or traded or waived via the NBA. I know that we started off with the NFL, then I switched to the NBA, but I told you guys that I was going to do that, and I did do that, and I'm always going to do that. Why? Because if you watch my show, you already know that my favorite sport is basketball. Therefore, my favorite organization or association, or however you want to call it, is the NBA. So there's always going to be NBA talk. Always. Just prepare yourselves for that. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed the show, you like what you heard, and you enjoy what you see, always feel free to like and subscribe to the channel. And, of course, if you're feeling generous, always feel free to cash at me, Erick Daniel Coughlin, hashtag Coughlin Pride. Have a nice day.